It's a riot situation where police are firing shotguns.
Where are the armed men who come in to take the protesters away? Where are they? This kind of behavior is never tolerated in Boracua.
This is a Parks and Rec clip from the 5th episode of the 2nd season called Sister City, where Leslie welcomes a delegation from Venezuela. And it shows through simple, searing satire how authoritarian leaders believe protests should be dealt with using their polite police structures.
No trial, no nothing. Journalists, we have a special jail for journalists. You're stealing, right to jail. You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail. You're charging too high prices for sweaters, glasses. You right to jail.
What is that thin line that defines tragedy and comedy? Charlie Chaplin once said, "Life is tragedy up close and comedy in long shot." Steve Allen took it further. Tragedy plus time equals comedy.
You make an appointment with the dentist and you don't show up, believe it or not, jail, right away. We have the best patients in the world because of jail.
And satire at its core is where comedy meets tragedy by exaggerating reality to expose flaws of the human condition. So how can we understand tragedy or comedy as mediums as a moral compass to live a just life? You've met a secret police officer. You just don't know it yet. And I'm going to break the truth. Your HR rep at your job isn't working for you.
Hey everyone, thanks for coming to this mandatory HR meeting.
Let's make some noise!
Okay.
They are there to shield the organization from you. You should treat HR meetings like you're having chats with a Stasi officer. The reason? The secret police term is misleading. Everyone knows they exist, and their primary role is to protect the regime at all costs. A level of freedom in society is often a measure by how easily someone can step away from its binding structures. Which brings me to the lives of others.
Bitte. Nur eine Stunde, nur ein bisschen schlafen.
Warum müssen Sie ihn so lange wach halten? Ich meine, das ist doch unmenschlich.
Which follows Stasi officer Weiser as he's assigned to spy on playwright George Draymond and his partner, actress Krista Maria Seilen. Weiser is a cog in a massive repressive machine, until he isn't. As he watches their lives unfold, he discovers something unexpected, a moral compass. His quiet rebellion comes in the form of listening, and eventually, disobedience. This film captures the Shakespearean heights of tragedy, a Hegelian moral dilemma played out to its inevitable end. Weiser's downfall isn't just personal. It's the tragic result of questioning a system that demands obedience. Timothy Snyder, in his seminal work On Tyranny, writes that authoritarian systems thrive when we obey in advance. Weiser's story is a warning. When we internalize fear, we become agents of the system. In societies shaped by secret police, defiance isn't just rebellion, it's existential. But are we doomed to live tragic lives by rebelling, or can we laugh on the way down to hell?
It's never too early to learn that the government is a greedy piglet that suckles on a taxpayer's teat until they have sore, chapped nipples.
Jerry Seinfeld once said, "Comedy makes small things big." Parks and Recreation turned small-town antics into absurd reflections of public policy.
I am an official member of a task force dedicated to slashing the city budget. Just saying that gave me a semi. Right off the bat, we sell City Hall.
The Death of Stalin does the same with history's most infamous dictatorship.
Thank you, you've been very helpful. Follow me. Let's get these
The film follows Soviet leaders scrambling to fill the power vacuum after Stalin's death. The absurdity reaches a fever pitch. Power-hungry officials bicker like children over funeral arrangements, with every misstep laced with terror.
Oh, what to do? Oh, what to do? My heart.
The masterminds of authoritarian regimes are often petty, self-serving, and incompetent.
You will not take me down! I will not go down!
By exposing their buffoonery, satire forces us to confront the truth. These systems endure not because they are strong, but because people believe in their facade. Armando Iannucci crafted The Death of Stalin as a cautionary tale, a farce designed to highlight the absurdity of authoritarianism. Yet the farce also shows the limits of satire. Unlike the hopeful community of Parks and Rec, the Soviet regime remains unchanged. The joke lands, but the system prevails. Satire can make us laugh at the powerful, but can it make us demand systemic change? Which brings us to in Scorsese's film The Wolf of Wall Street, he dissects America's obsession with wealth and excess. The film follows Jordan Belfort, a con man turned demigod, worshipped by disciples as he leads a personal army of sycophants who obey his every whim.
My wife might divorce me, but
The irony is that satire sometimes backfires. Instead of condemning excess, viewers idolize Belfort's lifestyle. Instead of fearing his downfall, many see it as proof that they too could get away with it. Satire exists in the space between tragedy and comedy. It leaves the interpretation to the audience, raising a haunting question. Can a satire ever be anti-war, anti-corruption, or anti-excess when the spectacle itself is so seductive? Many watch The Wolf of Wall Street as a celebration of decadence, missing the cautionary tale beneath the laughter. Satire asks us, are we missing the warning in the punchline?
Sell me this pen.
This pen works.
And if we are, what's the point of the joke? Mark Twain,
Mr. Mark Twain. Word up.
America's premier humorist, once said, "Loyalty to country, always. Loyalty to government when it deserves it." His legacy is so enduring that America's top comedy honor bears his name, the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor.
And I'm here to celebrate Mark Twain. Mark Twain is hilarious. I would just like to read a brief passage from Huckleberry Finn.
Okay. All right. Tighten up.
Huck Finn turned to his friend Jim, or as we called him, you don't have to read the whole passage.
Humor reveals absurdity in what isn't meant to be funny, but humor also relies on the audience to engage critically.
The Biden administration, the Democrats are weaponizing the FBI, and it has to stop.
Laughter is rebellion, but only if we understand what we're laughing at. And sometimes patriotism means refusing to follow bad orders. It means saying no, even when it costs us something. In short, we must laugh, but we must also remember when to stop laughing and to say no. If we obey in advance, we risk becoming the punchline of our own tragedy.
And now I am just one heartbeat away from being President of the United States. It just goes to show that anyone can be president.
Anyone.
All you have to do is want it.